Imagine waking up in a world where fire doesn't exist. Not because someone forgot to light it, because no human has ever learned how. The sun disappears behind the horizon. The temperature begins to fall. Fast. You hear movement in the darkness. Something large. Something hungry. You reach for a stick. It's useless. You gather leaves. They won't keep you warm. You collect branches. They're just branches. Tonight, there will be no campfire, no cooked food, no light, no protection, only darkness. Most people think ancient humans survived because they were strong. But strength isn't enough when the night belongs to everything that wants to eat you. So here's the mystery. If humans had no fire, how did they survive long enough to invent it? At first it seems impossible. We use fire for almost everything. Warmth, light, cooking, protection. Even today, losing electricity for a single night feels uncomfortable. Now erase not only electricity, erase fire itself. The world suddenly feels much bigger and much more dangerous. But the first surprise is this. The greatest enemy wasn't the cold. It was the clock. Every sunset changed the rules. During the day, humans could see danger coming. At night, the hunters became the hunted. Predators didn't need flashlights. They had eyes built for darkness. Humans didn't. Imagine hearing footsteps just beyond the trees. You can't see them. They can see you. Would you sleep? Probably not. So what happened? Did ancient humans simply stay awake every night? That sounds impossible, because it was. Which means they needed another answer. Not a weapon, not a flame. Something even older. Each other. One person can fall asleep. 10 people can take turns. 20 people can hear danger from every direction. Before fire united people around a glowing circle. Fear united them in the dark. Survival wasn't an individual skill. It was a group project. But even groups couldn't solve everything. Morning brought a completely different problem. Food. Today, raw meat sounds unpleasant. Back then, it could be deadly. Cooking doesn't just change flavor. It changes time. It softens food, releases more energy, kills many harmful microbes and parasites. Without it, every meal became a gamble. So why didn't humans simply avoid meat? Because plants had their own tricks. Some roots were poisonous, some seeds were too hard. Some foods locked away their nutrients behind tough fibers that the human body struggled to break down. Suddenly, eating wasn't simple. It was detective work. Every bite asked a dangerous question. Is this food, or is this the last thing you'll ever eat? That forced early humans to become incredible observers. They watched birds, they watched monkeys, they watched deer. If another animal avoided a certain berry, maybe they should too. Nature became their instruction manual, not written in words, but in survival. Yet another mystery appeared. Winter. You can survive one cold night, maybe two, but an entire season without warm clothes, without heated shelters, without fire. It sounds hopeless. Until you realize something surprising. Humans didn't conquer winter. At first, they escaped it. Groups slowly followed food, followed warmer climates, followed seasons. The first great human journeys may not have been about adventure. They were about staying alive one more month. But migration created another problem. New lands meant new predators, new diseases, new plants, new dangers. Imagine walking into a forest no human has ever seen. Every sound is unfamiliar. Every footprint is a mystery. Every shadow could hide something bigger than you. How do you survive somewhere you've never been? You remember, not individually, collectively. One person discovers safe water. Another remembers where dangerous animals hunt. Someone else learns which cave floods after heavy rain. Knowledge becomes the most valuable thing a group owns. Not stored in books, stored in stories. Long before history was written, it was spoken. A warning remembered by one generation could save the next. Without realizing it, humans were inventing something almost as important as fire. Culture. Then comes another twist. Many people imagine early humans living inside caves. But caves aren't always safe. Large predators liked caves too. Imagine finally finding shelter, only to discover a family of bears already lives there. Who leaves? Probably you. So humans became surprisingly creative. They slept under rock overhangs, built simple windbreaks from branches, used thick vegetation, chose high ground where danger could be spotted earlier. Home wasn't one place. It was wherever tomorrow was still possible, but none of these solutions solved the biggest weakness humans had: our bodies. Compared to many animals, we're slow. We don't have claws. We don't have thick fur. We don't have powerful jaws. At first glance, humans seem badly designed for survival, until you notice one strange advantage: we don't quit. Most predators explode with speed, then they stop. Humans keep moving, hour after hour, step after step, across valleys, across rivers, across endless plains. What looked like weakness slowly became endurance. Sometimes survival wasn't about winning the chase, it was about refusing to lose it. Still, something was missing. Imagine spending every day searching for food, every night hiding from danger, every winter barely surviving. How could a species trapped in constant survival ever invent something as extraordinary as fire? Here's the surprising answer: they weren't waiting for fire. Fire came to them first. Lightning struck forests. Volcanoes ignited landscapes. Dry grass erupted into towering walls of flame. Most animals ran away. Humans probably did too, at first, but curiosity is a strange survival tool. Eventually, someone noticed something impossible. After the flames disappeared, the land had changed. Dead animals, still edible, plants transformed, wood still glowing, warmth that lingered long after the fire passed. The monster that destroyed the forest had accidentally prepared dinner. That discovery raised an even bigger question. Could the fire be kept alive? Not created, just protected. Imagine carrying a smoking branch for miles because if it dies, you may never see fire again. Suddenly, the most precious object in the world isn't gold. It isn't food. It's a tiny glowing ember. Someone must watch it, feed it, protect it from rain, protect it from wind, protect it from carelessness. The first firekeepers may have held the future of humanity in their hands without knowing it. And once fire stayed, everything accelerated. Nights became longer. Conversations lasted after sunset. Food became easier to digest. Predators stayed farther away. Cold regions slowly became possible. Children survived more often. Ideas had more time to grow. Fire didn't simply warm human bodies, it created extra hours, extra safety, extra opportunities to think. In a way, fire didn't just change how humans lived, it changed how humans imagined. But here's the part most people never consider. Fire wasn't humanity's first invention. Cooperation was, observation was, memory was, trust was. Without those invisible inventions, no one would have survived long enough to protect the first flame. When we picture ancient humans, it's easy to imagine them as primitive, as if they were simply waiting for civilization to arrive. But that's backwards. Civilization began the moment humans realized surviving together was smarter than surviving alone. Fire was spectacular, but it wasn't the beginning, it was the reward. So, how did ancient humans survive without fire? Not because they were stronger than nature, not because they feared it less. They survived because every challenge forced them to invent something invisible before they ever invented something visible. A shared memory, a shared warning, a shared future. Long before humans learned to control fire, they had already learned to rely on one another. And perhaps that's the greatest survival tool our species has ever created, because the first flame that truly kept humanity alive may never have burned in wood at all. It may have burned between people,